Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Monday, February 22nd, and we've got all kinds of market action to get into today. We're going to look at these charts. Seems like the bearish scenario we've been talking about is beginning to play out, and we're going to open up these charts to take a look at just how far we think this can go. But before I jump into this chart, I want to take 1 minute to just explain to you the different levels of membership that I have on two different platforms. First and foremost, here on my YouTube channel, you can click the join button here, and a little video is going to come up that explains to you the different levels of membership that I have here on my channel and the different streams of content that I provide for each level. And actually, it's a cool video. I actually do some technical analysis in the background, and some of the targets, I did this on Saturday, and some of the targets that I said in this video actually come to pass last night while we were sleeping. So check that out. And also, if you click the little Patreon button here, it's also in the description of all my videos. It'll take you to my Patreon channel, and you can see that I have 3 different levels of membership here. So some people have asked the question, how do these two platforms, my YouTube memberships and my Patreon memberships, how do they interact with one another? Well, here's my suggestion. If you're a hodler, I suggest you also join the Patreon Cryptogenarian Silver. And if you're a trader, I also suggest you join the Cryptogenarian Gold. And if you're a strategist on my YouTube channel, I also suggest you join the Cryptogenarian Gold. Or if you join the Cryptogenarian Platinum, you get everything that I give to the hodlers, to the traders. You get it all. This is just an all-in-one here that you could get here with the Cryptogenarian Platinum. Plus, you get a monthly Zoom call with me. But here's the thing to remember. If you're thinking about joining my Patreon, I suggest you wait till the 1st of the month. Because if you join today, they're going to charge you these amounts today and then again on the 1st. So please do not join before the 1st unless you are willing to pay this and then pay it again on the 1st, okay? So I'm sorry about that. It's nothing I can do about it. That's just the way Patreon is set up. But I'm providing resources that I think are very important. All right, now let's jump into these charts. First, it's always good to take a look at the macro perspective, and the macro perspective for Bitcoin remains strong. With that being said, even if there's a pullback that comes all the way down into the 30,000 range, let's say, even if there is a pullback that goes that far, it won't even affect this one candle. I mean, literally, we could have a pullback all the way back down to 32,000 and still be in this one bullish candle here when we look at it on the monthly. And what that means is that the macro is very strong. We are still heading towards, I believe, $256,938 by January 1st. So with that being said, what a pullback would actually do is make holding Bitcoin more profitable in the long run. That's really all it would do. And that's why pullbacks happen. It simply creates another range of accumulation or a range of reaccumulation, and I think that's what we're looking at. But as we begin to drill down a little bit into the 4-hour chart, we're able to see what this pullback is beginning to look like and what's beginning to take shape. And so I drew these trend lines here. We can see that in the 4-hour chart, ever since January 21st, ever since January 29th, Bitcoin has been honoring this bullish trend here, this progression here, moving upward. Everything's great. But when you're in a trend like this, if you break bearish out of that trend, the width of the trend determines kind of the base or the bottom of kind of the drop that can happen when you pull out of that trend. And so we broke bearish out of that trend, and that means we could break all the way down to $42,532. Of course, we have resistance, or we have a line of support here at $47,384. And in actuality, when stuff dropped in the middle of the night, we hit that line of support and bounced off of it and came back up. So with that being said, we should continue downward in this progression. We should have some more drops here in this progression, and we should continue to correct. However, Bitcoin is unpredictable, and it could turn around and break back into this bullish progression and keep moving upwards. And if we just keep moving upwards from here, you see we're going to be up here at the top in the mid 64,000 range. We could also break above this trend, and if we break above this trend, that's strongly bullish for Bitcoin. So I'm waiting to see if we close some more candles beneath this line, or if we try to break back up into this progression, and that will determine in the short run where we're going. But I anticipate the correction will continue. I anticipate the price will continue to drop. It's going to move around a bit. Of course, it's very volatile, but I think it's moving. But what's exciting to me is to take a look at XRP. I mean, XRP is bullish right now. Believe it or not, we are bullish. And if I open up the RSI here, I know I said we saw some bearish divergence in the RSI, and we did. But if you look at it on the weekly, it's not bearish at all. The macro perspective is far more bullish. And what we can see is that there's this line here that we're trying to break above. There's really two lines. There's a line here at about 63 cents and then another line here at about 75 cents. And once we break above those two lines, we're in the running, man. We're heading towards $3.28. I mean, we're really going to start pushing up and revisiting our all-time high over here. And that's a really exciting thing. So it's amazing we didn't see a huge drop for XRP like we did with everything else. I mean, look at Litecoin. Bam, we had this long red candle. LTC BTC. Now, this is really my baby right now because this is what we're trading in my trading group. And, you know, I posted this chart when it was up here, and I said, look, this is an ascending this is an ascending broadening wedge, which is a bearish progression. And if we break out of this, if we break bearish out of this ascending broadening wedge, that should take us down about 13.5%. And sure enough, we came right down and touched that trend line. And actually, we had a buy order waiting down there at 3,648 Satoshis. And we just broke just under it, activated, executed that buy order, and then we immediately started to increase. And that means we immediately started to make profits. So I'm really, really pleased with that trade. I'm really, really pleased with what's going on here with LTC BTC. I really believe that 3,600 Satoshis is the bottom of the range there. And that's why we're holding a pretty sizable position there and looking for it to move and to push higher. Looking at Ethereum broke out of this bullish progression as well. I have a target here of about $1,200 for Ethereum based after that break. But of course, there's these lines of support at 1660, 1517, 1437, and 1295. And so if we break through all of those levels of support, we should find support at 1212. And then the macro, of course, on Ethereum is very bullish. And so we're going to continue to move upward there. Theta token is just a beast. I posted in my Patreon wall just yesterday or the day before, I think it was. I think it might have been yesterday morning that Theta token was looking great, that we had broken above this line and that we were doing really well, but that if there was a pullback, we could come back to visit this previous all-time high at $2.60. And lo and behold, I woke up this morning and it had done just that. So that's pretty exciting to see, but we're still very bullish. We're still in this bullish continuum here. The pullback may not be over for Theta token, but Theta token is just so strong. I mean, I see it heading towards $20 in the next, 6 to 12 weeks, maybe a little longer. I don't know. But the macro for Theta token is huge. And so it's one of my biggest holdings, and I'm excited about it. But ADA, man, dude, Cardano is a beast here. I mean, look at Cardano, right? I mean, what pullback? Yeah, Cardano is like super strong here. So this is really, really exciting to see how Cardano has held itself together through this whole thing. You don't see this long red stem, and this is a 4-hour chart. This is not a macro chart. So yeah, I mean, we saw this last night, but it recovered very quickly and very strongly, and it's back with the vengeance. So Cardano is strong. All right, folks, I mean, that's all I got for you today. I just wanted to kind of highlight these things and remind you that, you know, the market is volatile, but your emotions don't need to be. And if you're, you know, this right here, this is why I told you not to try to sell at the top and buy it at the bottom, because that happens so quick that unless you had a buy order waiting down there and knew exactly where to place it, there's no way you were going to catch that falling knife. So with that being said, folks, make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic signing out.